What's up, guys? So today just going to walk you through the pouring of some concrete. So just pretty much some shots, some things that we do here. We like our concrete pretty wet, especially when you got to move it with wheelbarrows. For this first back part, we had to move it with wheelbarrows. As you will see here, Dad and Noah were working pretty hard at the beginning of the day. So you see I'm flattening it out with the rake. I'm getting it all level, equal. Don't try that unless you're practiced in the art of it. Most people will use a screed board to make it flat, but me and my dad have pretty much figured out how to not use a screed board and make it faster by just using a rake. So right here I'm bull floating. This is the process that makes it kind of slick and brings the rest of the moisture to the top, pushes the gravel down. It's what gets your kind of soft, slick finish on top, which you will see here in a bit. I also do this a few times. I just edited in only kind of 2 down and backs. Forgive my arm for being in the camera there. And my hesitation to grab the rake there. So now that we're out in the open, the concrete guy can do his thing driving. He can drive in and out and just kind of spread it for us, and we're just going to go through and flatten it. So right here you'll see our dad's homemade screed board giant rake thing. So he's going to do the same thing I was doing a second ago, except with that giant board. Works pretty good, honestly. Definitely could make an aluminum one or something and patent it, make some money off it. Please don't steal my idea. So I also got a kick out of our helper. He pretty much does nothing for the next minute. It's just kind of funny to me. So we're going to spread it out. We're also pouring right next to their patio, which wasn't really ideal because normally you want a nice straight line, and how these bricks to the right here aren't very straight. You kind of just got to work with what you got, and that's what they wanted. So here Dad's doing the same thing, Noah's doing the same thing, which is nothing. You'll see me, I'm over there troweling the edges. We also do that as we go, just like bull floating. As I trowel the edges, I also took my shoes off so that I'm not walking and putting concrete footprints all the way across the other concrete that's already dry. So moving on here in a sec, we get it all poured. I go back to bull floating. I'm going to bull float this section. I won't bore y'all with a bunch of video of me bull floating, however. How the bull float works is you twist the pole that you're holding and it moves the plane of the blade. Look out, Dad. So this is the look after you bull floated it. As you can see, all the moisture is brought to the top. It's kind of slick. The customer asked for a broom finish. It was getting very hot in the day, so we kind of have to rush this. When we first start brooming, it's actually too wet in this shot here and in the next two. But in a second, you'll realize why we started so early, because when we get out front with it, it's pretty dry and it's actually kind of a rush to get it done. I also thought this shot was pretty cool. Pretty neat little camera angle there. So we go out front and it still does the trick, but you'll notice the little clumps. We call them boogers, concrete boogers. There's little clumps that get left behind. Those end up breaking off later on. However, they just really aren't ideal. It looks fine, but it's just getting drier, basically. You'll also notice after every time we use the broom, somebody cleans the brush off, as you see Noah demonstrating there for us. every single swipe. So you're going to swipe, clean it off. Whether that's wiping it in the grass, brushing the trees with it. I mean, use whatever you got. In this situation, we had Noah and a trowel. Here's the finished look. You'll notice little concrete boogers all over the place. This is ready to dry. Now we're just let it dry and we come back in the morning. So here's the next day. It did rain on it that evening. It did have time to dry and set up. But so when we come back this morning, we're going to go through and saw cut it. It was also kind of nice to see where it had rained and where the puddles were. We did really good on how straight it was. There was this puddle over here, which is to the right. Just a little clip of saw cutting, kind of like to this angle. It's very dusty. Had to clean my camera. And there's the finished product. Dirt's cleaned up and everything. Thanks for watching, guys.